Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to Spintires Mudrunner, and welcome back to, is this Grizzly Creek? It is. I keep guessing right on these. So, we got a load of logs loaded with our loader. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell you what's going on, and I don't know. So we have to take these around here because these gates are closed. I think that's the only way to do it. Yep. I think that's the only way to do it. And as we're driving, I'll tell you a funny story. Gather round, childrens, and I'll tell you a funny story. Oh, it's funny, all right. It's sort of funny, haha. But it's funny. This game, man, I feel like this game is right on the edge of tedious. You know what I'm saying? I like things that are challenging. I do. But I don't like things that are tedious. You know what I'm saying? Doing an Xterra off-road race. That's challenging. If you had to do it while you were carrying a glass of water and not spill one drop, that would be tedious. So I feel like this game has such a rep for being kind of slow and challenging in a, I don't know. It's a different kind of game for sure. And I like it. I'm not, when I tell you this stuff, it's going to sound like I'm like talking smack on the game, and I'm not. I like it. It's just, I feel like this DLC, the developers were like, people think the game is really slow and kind of methodical and challenging. Let's make it more so. And it's like, okay, all right. But I guess for me, I like driving in the mud more than I like the logging stuff. And easy. And there's hardcore mud. It's early here. Let me have some coffee. No, literally, let me have some coffee. See if that'll help. Moment. There's hardcore mode. And there's like regular mode or easy mode or whatever. And I go hardcore. Easy. I go hardcore mode because I like the way you have to drive the truck in hardcore mode. But I don't necessarily like loading the logs in hardcore mode because you have to do it manually. And I'm talking in the previous iteration of the game because I think this is the first map DLC. No, it's not. There is the valley and the ridge, but they didn't really change like the way that you play the game. Now I'm curious because this new style, I'm curious if that's going to be sort of mandatory in the other maps as well. I don't know. But basically, let me break it down like a fraction for you. So we've got the skidder, we've got our log skidder, and we've got these scavenge points, right? Well, I realized early on you can't load logs with the skidder. You can't put them on the truck with the skidder. I figured that out quickly. It didn't take too many tries. In fact, I didn't really try at all. I grabbed logs with the skidder, I took it over to the truck and said, no, that's not gonna work. Not happening. So, all right. Now the other trucks, the highway trucks, one of them will take a loader, and one of them will not. And then this thing will take a loader. So I thought, okay, so we go in and we load the logs. Maybe, I don't know. That wasn't working. So I go online, as you do, and I guess this is supposed to represent an American timber operation and how it's done in the United States or how it's done in the US and Canada. I don't know. But basically, you gather up the logs with the skidder and take them to a loading pit. And I found, I guess, what is the loading pit. And now this truck can go off-road. This is the only tractor trailer, at least in this profile. This is the only tractor trailer that can go off-road, and this is the moment. This is the Western Star 6900 XD. So the Freightliner and the big Ford 9000 cannot go off-road. And there may be other trucks because it came with 6 vehicles, 8, a dozen, 2, I don't know. But at least the way that we have this profile set up, this truck can go off-road, the others cannot. And it's got a loader, so I think, oh, okay, I'll take it down and load up logs. But that really didn't work either. So, all right, so we're going to take the logs to the loading pit, and then we can take this off-road down to the loading pit to load the logs. Okay, that makes sense. And we take the logs to the loading pit on the skidder, and then we load them onto this truck with the loader on the truck itself. Okay, makes sense so far. But I'm trying to figure out why, because the map started with other trucks rigged as log trucks, but you can't take them off-road. And I can't find a loading pit near the highway that would allow us to use the crane on the other. You see what I mean? Like on the highway only trucks, I can't find a place to drop the logs unless we just drop them on the highway. But my OCD doesn't really like that. Like that's it's just, you know, you can't do that. Even though there's no traffic on the map, and even though it's just a video game, I just don't feel okay with dropping logs on the highway. So someplace like this right here, you know, we would have to stop the truck on the highway because we literally can't take it off-road. The other truck, I mean. So, I don't know. That just doesn't, you know, so I guess it's going to be this one. And then that gets kind of weird because we have all these vehicles on the map, but we're only going to use like 2 of them. And it's, I guess it's okay when you, I don't want to say choose to do that, but yeah, maybe that's the right word. It's cool when you have a variety of vehicles and you're like, I want to work with these 2 or these 3 or whatever. But to have them all laid out and like, well, these are really the only 2 that I can do anything with at all. You know, I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm still loving the game. I'm liking the DLC, but if that's the only way you can load logs, I don't know if this is going to be like a go-to map for me. You know, and to me, the other maps, the base game maps, are all, they all have, so far at least, and it may have switched over with this DLC, but so far at least, they only have one way to load logs. You know, you just go to the little hopper, pick them up with the crane, put them on the truck, and drive away. But if this has carried over to the base game, and you have to pick up logs with the skidder now, and take them to another location, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. I might need to switch out of hardcore mode, which is disappointing because I prefer easy. I prefer hardcore mode for the driving. And also when you set waypoints, it doesn't give you that red ribbon out in front. I'm not really a fan of that. Breaks the immersion for me, yo. So we'll see how it goes. And then the other thing is, moment. There we go. The way that things are set up now, we've got scavenge points, and I don't know what's going on with those, because I've had logs respawn, but then other times they don't. Like I put long logs on here. Give it? Yes. I put long logs on here from one of the little hoppers, whatever you want to call it, carrels, sawhorses, and they didn't respawn. And then later they did, but they respawned as medium logs, but it didn't give me an option. So I'm curious when we deliver these if anything over there respawns long logs. You know what I mean? Like I'm curious if there can only be one group of long logs on the map at the same time, because a lot of those hoppers are empty right now, and I piled up some, you know, multiple skidder loads of logs. I piled them up at the log pit. So it could be I'm doing something wrong, but I mean, this game is sort of trial and error. There's not a ton of documentation. I found out what I found out on the internet, but that wasn't, you know, it was by no means like a systematic explanation. It was more or less just, hey, you know, you can do this. So, whatever. So it's fun. I still like the game, but this part of it, I have to say, is not necessarily doing it for me. Come on. I enjoy the driving more than the logging, I have to say. And I don't know if that's a kind of a carryover from Farm Sim. I tried logging, I wouldn't say many times, more than a few times. I tried logging on Farm Sim, and I have to say it just never did it for me. And I think part of it is the control aspect of the crane, and I think that may be part of the issue here. Is I can get it done, you know, but it just, I don't know, it seems a little, I suppose it is as intuitive as it can be, you know, to operate a multi-axis crane with a gamepad or a flight stick or something. Moment. Still got a few more. Okay. To operate a multi-axis crane with a flight stick. And I've seen people do it, you know, they can be very fluid. But, well, you don't even get a flight stick. Here, you get a flight stick. You can use a flight stick in Farm Sim. I don't think you can here. I think it's, this game is, I've heard of people using a wheel, but I think it's one of those deals where you have to, like, spoof your PC into thinking your wheel is a gamepad. Maybe something, I don't know, but I don't think you can run multiple controllers. Oh. Got a little bit loosey-goosey there. Got a little bit scared. Oh, and I also waited till it was early morning because there's no work light on that skidder. So I was thinking, well, I'll load lights. Man, more coffee. I will load logs. I will take logs to the log pit at night. And then if I have to take more over, I can do it in daylight. But it was so hard to work at night because there's no work light. Like, you can't see nothing. Alright, so this is going to take us into the sawmill. The lumber mill. And I think, just to keep things straight in my head, I think I'm going to take this to the furthest sawmill. Let's get the further away one done first, so we can remember. And I imagine there's some way to, like, remind you, but when we pull in here, I don't want to... Oh. When we pull in here, I don't want to go to the wrong one and waste points, because I think it's possible, and again, we'll figure it out together, but I think it's possible that as far as spawning, I think it may only give you enough logs to complete the mission. It doesn't just keep making logs. And because of that skidder... Okay, so we get 6 points, and we're taking it to the further of the two log... Okay, so then we go here. Now can we cannot fold our trailer. Or can we? Let's back up. I don't think we can. Well, that's not working. We'll do it live. There we go. When we pull out of the trigger here, I'm curious if we can fold this trailer. I don't think we can. Now, here's the second problem. Second, third, 10th. We've got anchors. No. Okay. Here's the next problem. We're low on fuel. We're not going to be able to make it around the map again. So let's head back to the garage. And we're going to run out of daylight here. That ain't cool. I think we need to head back to the garage. We need to refuel, which is not necessarily at the garage, but I parked the fuel truck up next to the garage. We need to refuel. And we need to put a medium, some type of medium log cart on here because... Oh, there's fuel right there. But I want to use fuel off the Bowser, so we buy less. The logs that are stacked up at the log pit right now are medium logs. They're not long logs. And like I said, they're respawning, but I don't understand how they're respawning. So I don't know, like, if we get one load of long logs and that's it. And then it'll respawn medium and short, or I don't know. I don't know. But part of me thinks that it only respawns enough for you to finish the mission. Come on. And when we get up here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we have our fuel Bowser is parked like sort of at the entrance to the forest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go directly to the garage. I'm going to swap this out for the medium stuff that we need. And then we'll get fuel on the way into the forest. So yeah, still enjoying myself, but I feel like I don't think I'm doing this right. Did not make that turn. Right. So there's one of the other trucks with the crane on it, but then you can't take it off-road, like I said. So, I don't know. I don't know. Right. Okay, so we did get a little bit of fuel. So what we want to keep the loader. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Medium log trailer. Okay, we can take that, and that's really it. I mean, you see what I mean? Like, that's a little bit... I don't get it. I really don't. And can we even load logs on that thing? From way up here? Yeah, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I don't think we can get this... Well, let's find out right now. We'll pull over here a little ways. Oh, sorry, buddy. Right. So, yeah, I don't think... There we go. I don't think, I mean... How do you feel about that? Nope. Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I really don't. And it's one of those things like... This is problematic as well. I don't... Pavel, my man, is there a patch on the way? I'm feeling like there's some issues. Okay. Yeah. There's some issues. Okay. Oh, this is good, entertaining video, folks. Yeah. Okay. That's fantastic. You know what? I'm not quite over it, but yeah. I expect a patch for this soon. So we'll go down to the log pit. We'll see. I mean, what are we supposed to do at this point? Like, we can disconnect the cart, try to put logs in it that way. Like unhook it, then load it, then hook it up again? I don't know. I don't know. We've got, let's get fuel here. Oh, and it's getting dark too. Fantastic. What I'll do is I'll try to get this cart loaded. If I can do that, then we'll just end the episode there. We don't need to drive back around the map again. Fuel cistern. Beautiful. Okay. Zoom out. Brakes off. So yeah, it's I'm at a bit of a loss, I have to say. And I haven't found any type of technique online as far as like, you know, this is the efficient way to do it, or this is the way to do it that like actually makes sense. I'm not finding any videos like that. Finding a lot of videos of people just kind of struggling. So, sometimes that's how it goes. So we'll get over here. I'll try to get this done before it gets dark. I don't know if there's work lights on this crane. I know there's none on the skidder. And I did see logs respawn when I was sort of prepping this, so I guess they do, but I don't know what the methodology is. It seems a bit random to me, like how they spawn or how they respawn. So, you know, maybe we'll have enough logs to finish the map. Maybe we won't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. So this is what we got right here. Here's our log pit, and I assume if I pull right in here like this, right in here, right about like here, right? And then I get rid of that. Also don't know why it zooms back in every time you do anything with the truck. Like, if I wanted it zoomed in, I'd have zoomed it in. Leave my zoom alone. So let's say right about here. Is that about right? Alright, so set the anchors. Crane. Oh, game. Oh, game. Oh, game. Right. So then if we go over here... Right? Then if we go over here, well, So does it want them the other way? So we go this way? Jesus. So, we go over here. Right. Now, I'm curious how many we have to get in there. I know for the long logs it was only 2. As long as we had 2 in there, that counted as a load as far as like auto packing it. Oh, game. Right. As far as packing it, I don't know how many it needs in there, so I'm going to put 4 in. And it's just about getting dark, so this will work out. So then, we drop those. Let's put this away. Yeah, when you get it to that angle, then it won't rotate. But you can't... Then if you extend it, right? Now you can rotate it, but it hits the cab. Right. So we put the anchors away. Lights on. Right there. Okay. So then if we come over here. Okay. So we've got 4 load points. So two loads of medium will be enough to complete this mill. And we need 2 more at this mill. So, yeah, man, I don't know. This has been Frustration Simulator. And I will continue, trying to figure out what the technique is. But this is what I've come up with so far. I have not figured out how to put the crane away, obviously. I don't know. It's a bit of a mystery. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if this is something that's going to need a little bit of a tune-up in the first patch. But at the moment, this is the technique that I came up with. And it is, as you can see... Get out to the highway and come on. Get out to the highway and I'll show you those spawn points. I'm curious. Normally it pops up a message when new logs are available. Come on. Come on. There you go. Creep for me. Creep for me. There you go. And also, I just thought of something. Since we don't have anything on the back of here, right? Since we don't have any logs or anything on the back of here, let's put that down there. Get it out of the way. Okay, so there is that. Oh, man. And if we look over here, so here's our skidder. I'm going to pick up 3 logs here. But these other ones now, we picked up logs from here with the skidder, and these did not respawn. Now, this one did at one point. That's the only time I've seen logs respawn. So, 4 there, right? 4 points. We can get 4 points from these medium logs. And then I guess it's going to have to be, like, we're going to have to finish with these logs right here. I don't know. It's curiosity. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Spintires Mudrunner from Grizzly Creek. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.